Grand Raw Rising, kings and queens. Grab your coffee or your tea and enjoy some sacred healing space for all ages and reflections that are welcomed. No matter if you're at work, watching the kiddos at home, or even driving on the road, Rising with Ra is a beautiful sacred space to learn about the chakras as well as receive our collective card reading for the day. Along with this, we will have beautiful guests and members of the tribe come on to share their gifts, their practices, knowledge, and wisdom as we self-empower and become aware of who we are as we go forth by day.
Walking like an Egyptian, walking like an Egyptian, walking like an Egyptian, walking like an Egyptian. Yeah, she walking like an Egyptian.
Welcome everybody. Grand Rising, grand day to you, wherever you are in the world at this moment. Thank you guys for tapping in and joining us to rise together in another episode of Rising with Ra. I am your host, Marcus Christolight of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And today we are going to be doing an exploration of the Sacral Chakra as our chakra of the day. Along with that, we will also be doing our collective card pull for a collective message of energy that we may use at our own free will for support. And then afterwards, we will be joined by our royal guest of the episode, which will be Divine Words of Wisdom. She will be joining us shortly after we do our collective reading and go over the Sacral Chakra. And then at the very end of the session, we will do a closing out chakra clearing for the sacral that I'll guide and lead. So that is what is to look for in this episode and edition of Rising with Ra on this Friday. And happy Friday to all of you. So before we begin and move forward into this episode, I just want to show you guys what happened on our latest episode on Monday. To embrace more of a higher perspective. Are there any stories of our past that we may be holding on to? Chakra is the chakra or energy center that would store our anger, resentment, fear, and pain. This is also our energy
surgery. let's continue to do this. I said, I'm not refusing surgery, but let's just continue doing what we're doing here. What you're doing, which was intravenous antibiotics, is working. Look, the child's improving tremendously. And because I said this, I wasn't saying no. I was saying, let's wait. Look, all the signs are showing he's improving. I don't know what your protocol says. I don't really care, frankly, in my opinion. I see my child, he's improving. Let's wait. All I was asking was to wait 36 hours. And let's go from there. Let's see how he looks in 30.
Along with this, we will have beautiful guests and members of the tribe. So yeah, that's what happened on Monday on the last episode of Rising with Ra. We went over a collective reading on higher perspective, embracing higher perspectives of our situations, our experiences, our stories, and things along that nature. Along with that, we also covered and went over the root chakra. And then we had a royal guest to kick off our 2nd year anniversary of Rising with Ra, Sarah Broadhead, who is a herbalist, a mother, and she shared some experiences that she had with facing the medical system when it had come to her son. And it's a really, really powerful stuff. You guys can check out that episode on the YouTube channel, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move into our collective card of today. And I will be using the Light Language Oracle deck. So the Light Language Oracle deck is an oracle deck that is channeled by author Chloe Metcalf. And Chloe Metcalf channels each of these individual spirit guides and then puts them into the cards and their meanings. So she intuitively connects with these different archetypes and guides and then brings their messages and energies through the cards. I'm going to go ahead and pull just one simple card for our collective today. And just keep in mind that you can take it or leave it if it resonates, or if it doesn't, it's okay. It's just archetypal energy of self, unified and connected, that you may work with and connect with in your human journey. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you all for being here. And our card is Sea Witch. Sea Witch. Very interesting. I've actually never pulled this card before. You guys can see there's some light language on there as well. Let's see what the book has to say. Sea Witch means water magic, sacrifice, oceanic healing. The Sea Witch offers you the keys to your dreams, but everything comes with a price. What are you willing to sacrifice to go all the way? Will it be time, money, faith, relationships, allowing your entire being to crumble so that it may be rebuilt into the self you truly wish to be? The sacrifice may be of old beliefs. You must let go of self-made limitations to open up and expand into the newest version of the self. A Sea Witch ritual is to stand in seawater. If you are landlocked, use a bucket of salty water and ask it to be blessed by Mother Ocean. Open up your heart and ask her to wash away all old to bring forth all new. This works best around the time of the full moon. This card asks you now to really think about what you are asking for and know that through this process, you can breathe freely underwater when it feels like you are drowning. This is also a message to spend time around water perhaps at the beach, or drink more water to hydrate. What a beautiful message. It's been a big theme lately coming up, is really being put in the position from the universe to really face ourselves. And not just face ourselves, but take a real critical observation and analysis of where we are at with ourselves. What is around us? What's in our space? What kind of patterns within ourselves are still continuing to take hold of our life? And with these patterns, are they causing resistance? Are they causing frustration, resentment, sadness? Or are the patterns that we are continuing in our life supporting us, uplifting us, making us feel beautiful, peaceful, and feel the interconnectedness with all? So just consider maybe doing an inventory today, or perhaps even now in this live, taking an inventory and reflect within yourself. Where am I at mentally right now? Are there any mental attachments that I have to past people, places, and things? Are there any limited belief patterns that are continuing to cycle in my mind, even though they rub up against my soul and the core of my being of who I know I am and what I'm here to be? Are there programmings from others that we are still continuing to take on that are not in alignment with our authenticity and who we are? So there's things to consider within the mind. And then in the emotions, consider where your emotions are. Are there any wounds in your emotions? Are there any pains that you're holding on to? Are there any feelings of lack? Are there any feelings of not being able to feel love, receive love, or give love? And then, of course, the physical body as well. Take an inventory on the physical. Are there any ailments in my physical body that need to be addressed? Am I stretching, more often than I'm not? Am I trying to do things to get my body active? Am I allowing myself to be pretty cleansed and pretty healed and pretty fluid with my inward organs and intestines and other things that are important? Just things to consider when it comes to the physical being. And with all this being said, also keep in mind what solutions you can start taking, what steps you can take, or what solutions you're already taking, and maybe you just need to amplify and do a little bit more of and continue in repetition. As repetition is key to programming ourselves and embodying what it is that we wish to embody. So also with Sea Witch, I'm also kind of feeling to share, the power of water. And when we're utilizing water, whether it's a bath, a shower, sitting by it, anything revolving around it, keep in mind too that you have the choice to either perceive and connect with water as just some physical form, or you can connect with water as a spiritual element, as a metaphysical being of light and consciousness that is interacting with you and that you can consciously guide as it flows with you. So for example, you can take a shower and you can just think of it as just taking a shower. Or the way that I go about it is, when I step into that water, I consciously think and feel the water as a spiritual energy that is cleansing and washing my energy field, that is interacting with me, that is giving me nurturing and a supplement of beautiful healing. So last thing also is, where's your perception at? Is your perception seeing beyond the veil? Are you allowing yourself to be able to see spirit, to be able to see divine essence and substance within everything? Just more things to consider. So that will do it for our collective card reading for today on Friday. And it is Sea Witch out of the Light Language Oracle. I'm also hearing too that some of us may enjoy some ritual baths using different oils, different salts, crystals, things like that. You can also take baths with those different elements too. So now as we continue on in this Rising with Ra space, we're going to go ahead and navigate over into our chakra education. And our chakra of the day will be the Sacral Chakra. So the Sacral Chakra is located right below the navel or the belly button. The mantra for the sacral. So each chakra has a mantra. A mantra is just a vibrational frequency that we vocalize with our voice to be able to resonate at the certain frequency of that chakra. So the mantra for that sacral is VAM, V-A-M. So when you do that mantra, it's just like when you do a Om, you take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you push it out. So an example would be, you breathe in, Va.
We will stand our ground in peaceful protest at the operation that is most dangerous, the drilling for more oil, at a time when the earth can least afford.
And then that mantra resonates at a certain tone and frequency to match that sacral center. So then moving forward, we have traits of the sacral chakra. On the vibration scale, on the universal scale, it resonates at 417 hertz. It is the color of orange when it comes to its vibration. It is the main center for our sexual life force energy, or our vitality. It is also our sensuality and pleasure center. So what that means when I say sensuality is it's our ability to feel emotions. It is our ability to have senses and to feel our senses. And through our senses, we're able to process, we're able to feel, we're able to become aware of energy and information. So if we have blockages in this, and oftentimes what we can find is when we feel dense in our sacral area, it's very hard for us to have emotions. It's hard for us to feel uplifted. It's hard for us to be able to feel any pleasure in life due to being blocked up, stuffed up and dense down in that sacral center. And I'm sure a lot of us have noticed that whenever our womb area or whenever our bladder or anything of that area feels stressed out and blocked, it's very, very difficult to feel any pleasure in life. So next we have, this is the direct energy center for our inner child energy. So if we have any inner child wounds or traumas from our childhood and beyond, and they could be stored in this sacral center. And if you ever want to clear out any of these, you can also do direct sacral energy practices. Next we have, it is our main center for our creative energy as well as our feminine energy. So this is where we cultivate and harness our life force energy, and we begin to raise that up to our other centers for expression as well as co-creation. This is why there's a lot of boundaries around sexuality and keeping yourself sacred when it comes to that. And then lastly, it is our relationship center. So it is the center where we start developing relationships of any degree. So the root chakra is our foundation, I am. Our sacral is our relationships and connection to the world as I feel. And then the next one will be the solar plexus on Monday, which will be I do, or I put action. So overactivations in the chakra can look like leaking of sexual energy, being overly affectionate to unhealthy outlets, having extreme immaturity. So overly affectionate to unhealthy outlets is an example of, say, you're in a relationship and you're abused constantly, but you're still being overtly affectionate to that abuser instead of creating boundaries and doing the things that you need to do for your well-being. That would be an example of being overactive in the sacral. And then lastly, blockages, sexual trauma, emotional wounds, having no passion, creative blocks, being afraid of intimacy, struggling to have fun, and then fear of being seen are all symptoms of having blockages in this energy center. So then lastly, I'll move over to ways to help balance it, and I'll give you some foods and herbs that you can use exactly for the chakra. And you have oranges, mangoes, peaches, sweet potatoes, carrots, apricots, flax, walnut, almond, and sesame. These are all foods and herbs that you can use to be able to lighten up and balance your sacral center. Alrighty. And then I'll actually go ahead and share with you as well some crystals that you can use directly for the sacral, if you're someone that likes to connect with crystals. And some of those crystals are pyrite, tiger's eye, citrine, sunstone, orange calcite, unakite, moonstone, and snowflake obsidian. And you can look up these individual crystals online or in a book, so you can see the in-depth details of specifically what each of these individual crystals do, because they're all going to have their own characteristics, their own traits that they bring, but they all help the sacral in some type of fashion.
As you can see, we are still in process of
All right, so that right there is our first half of Rising with Ra, which is our collective card of today, which is tapping in with water, embracing the water element spiritually, physically, and metaphysically, as well as taking an examination or observation of ourselves, seeing where mentally, emotionally, and physically we may not be so fluid, or we may have resistance in our life, and to reflect and address where these resistances are in a conscious manner so that we can create more fluidity with our divine essence, with our intuition and consciousness within. And then that is our chakra of the day, the sacral chakra. And everybody that's in the comments, really appreciate you guys for being here. And if any of you guys do want to learn more about the chakras, you guys can always reach out to me. And I actually have a whole entire series about the light body and the chakras on the YouTube channel, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. You guys go to playlist. Under playlist, it's called Light Body Awareness 101, and that's where you can find it. So now we're going to go ahead and take a real quick commercial break. I'm going to show you guys a workshop coming up. It'll be about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And then we'll be having our royal guest of the episode joining us, Divine Words of Wisdom.
A transformative throat chakra flow shop on August 24th at 4:44 p.m. EST. Dive deep into understanding your throat chakra. Learn about blockages, overactivations, and how they impact your life. In this free, donation-based session, you'll engage in reflective journaling to identify and release your own blocks. Plus, Marcus will guide you through a powerful throat chakra clearing meditation. Feel the liberation of true self-expression and clear communication. Don't miss this chance to empower your voice and speak your truth. Sign up now at sacredlight33.as.me or DM us directly for the room link. Your voice is your power. Let's amplify it together.
Join me, Marcus Christolight, Saturday the 24th at 4:44 p.m. Eastern for an online, free, donation-based throat chakra empowerment flow shop. We will learn about the throat chakra, how to identify blockages and overactivations, journal, as well as do a guided meditation. Free donation-based, you may sign up at sacredlight33.as.me or direct message me to get the link. Ashe. So yep, that will be coming up on the 24th on a Saturday. Throat Chakra Empowerment Workshop, online, free, donation-based. Again, that's free and donation-based. So you get the chance to learn in depth what the throat chakra is, the relation in our human life, what blockages and overactivations look like, a journaling space to be able to identify any of yours that are happening in your life with some guidance from myself and community. And then I'll wrap it up with a wonderful throat chakra clearing meditation, all free donation based. Saturday, 4:44 p.m. Eastern on the 24th. Just reach out to me if you would like the link, or you can sign up directly in the link in my bio on Instagram, or go to sacredlight33.as.me. Alrighty. Now, with that being said, we are now going to bring on our sacred royal guest, Divine Words of Wisdom. Welcome, sister. Glad to have you.
You're grateful. Thank you. I'm grateful. Yes.
I'm so glad to have you on.
I'm glad to be here. I'm so very glad to be here. Honored, of course, to be in this space, this divine space, in this learning space, because, you know, as you and I have conversed, I'm learning more information, more in-depth information about the chakra system. So that was really nice to, you know, a nice introductory into a more deeper aspect of it. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Yes.
Grateful to share.
Great.
How are you today?
I am well. I am divinely well. You know, glad to be in this space. As usual. Glad to be in this space. Delighted to be sharing space in this dynamic. You know, and just, you know, here to show a different version of self, of course, in my purest essence of authenticity. And just, you know, whatever you want to talk about, we could just, as I say, we could chop it up. We could talk about things. And if there are any questions or anything like that in the comments and different things of that nature, I'll probably be looking this way to look at the comments because I have my phone up here. But any questions that are in the comments, we're here to give a version of how we understand it. And just, you know, as I say in, you know, my dynamic, of how I engage. The many different versions of consciousness having the ability to come together, share a space in oneness, in wholeness, in a unified way, without any judgment. So, if there are any questions or anything like that, we are here to do that. But just, how we're here to just discuss and talk about life, how it's happening, and, how we're understanding it from a divine aspect of being, the changes that are commencing, that we are now experiencing with all of this beautiful barrage of light energy that is coming onto this plane, to which many people are beginning to feel the effects of. It's so much going on, as they say, this is one of the most greatest shows on earth that we are experiencing now. So it's like, it's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time to be alive. I tend to think and believe that we truly picked a really appropriate time to be in this space, this timeline, in this now moment, because so many exciting things are transpiring right now. So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot that we can talk about. Let's
That's
see,
for sure.
Mr. Overhead. Hey, Mr. Overhead. My beautiful friend. Yes. Hi, Cindy. There we go. Oh my God, you guys! I'm looking at the. So if I'm looking away, I'm looking at the comments because I have it on here. Indeed.
So
Yes.
I want to kick off with the question of, what uniquely makes you you? Because, when we were speaking, I was very intrigued to hear about your perspective and the way that you operate and your authenticity. So I'd love to let the collective be able to hear how it is that you connect with the divine and how you see yourself naturally flowing through this world.
Well, pretty much it's just moving in my truth. As I always say in my lives, is the purest, authentic version of myself, in the essence of where, I'm vibrating from, to show the authenticity of that now moment. And if anyone wants to do a recall, they can go back and see the growth from that authenticity. I think being in an authentic place allows for you to see your growth at that time, as a point of reference, when you are matriculating and moving through your experience. So it's just me being in my true self, my true authenticity, experiencing and expressing of how I understand my now moment, understanding that it's not a cookie cutter type situation, that we are divinely unique. We may have some similarities, and we may agree at certain points of sharing experiences with each other, but we are divinely unique to have our own individual experience. And so therefore it doesn't have to look like anybody else's. It doesn't have to sound like anybody else's. So this aspect of myself is to kind of somewhat not necessarily be the rebel of the spiritual concept, but just, outside of the box, because a lot of times in this, in anything that we do, it kind of tries to structure us and conform us into this specific conformity of, order, that you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to be this and you got to be that. And if you're not this, then you're not that, and all this other kind of stuff. And I kind of somewhat break the mold, because everything that, they said that you should be doing, I really don't do. And yet I've been able to achieve certain aspects of being similar to the information that is being expressed by those who do share the essences of those mentalities and different things or modalities. So, I'm here to show the difference, the stark differences, that you can be different. You can be your authentic self. You can move into your truth. It doesn't have to look like anybody, and you will get to the similar or you're almost the same destination as someone else that do practice, yoga or meditate, or, all of the things that they're saying that, you should be doing in order to get to that space. Well, I'm the example that it doesn't have to be done in that way. in order to get to the same destination. So that's what I think makes me uniquely different, because I'm not traditional. I'm not a traditional person in terms of the structure of how it's structured and organized. And I think, showing this version of self for people, because the reason, and part of the reason too, that I'm grateful that, I'm in this space now to be able to share it, is because a lot of times I sat in the back of the room listening for someone that was like me. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I never really heard anybody that was like me. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody was really trying to be conformative to, the structure of what was expected of them in a spiritual space. And I wasn't like that. And so that was another thing that kind of, really solidified me moving in my truest authenticity, because even with that, I wasn't willing to budge and be like somebody else. I maintained the integrity of my truth. So that's pretty much it. That's, where that is concerned. It's just to show a different face that may be more familiar to people that are in the back of the room. But they're just, too shy to say anything about it. So I really want to speak for all souls, but specifically those souls who were probably like me early in my journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much honor and respect.
I'm grateful.
Thank you for being you.
I'm grateful. Thank you. I'm grateful. It's, it's so much easier for, if I were to give my perspective about how, I move in this experience, it is so much easier to be true to self. It's easier for yourself to be true to self. But where one may have a little bit of difficulty is if you are trying to satisfy outside versions of selves, right? And that can impose a level of difficulty of you moving through the fluidity of who you are in truth, if you are somewhat bothered by external things. But if you can overcome, the external views of how people understand you and different things of that nature, it is so freeing. Oh my God, it's so liberating. It's so free. I wish I can really give you what I feel, like just give it to you so that you can just feel what I feel without me having to say it, because the feeling of it, I think it just holds more, validity to the experience. It just is so amazing. And I understand overstand that, we can't just give it to it. People have to be willing to be in agreement with the experience. But I'm telling you guys, it's such a liberating thing where I can come on this space and just be my authentic self, say the things that come to me in my own intuitive aspect of being without worrying about whether or not if it's politically correct or even spiritually correct, because I understand that this is my journey, that as through the divine that we are creating for our own essence of experiences. So it's a beautiful thing, and I'm just grateful to be in this space. As I say, I wouldn't trade this space for all the tea in China. It's beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes. Man, how refreshing. That's one thing about these spaces and why I'm so grateful that, Spirit and myself, on my free will have chosen to really embrace these podcasts, these shows, because, man, they are just so refreshing. Every episode, every connection that you get to make, every listening of another perspective and a vulnerable human is just so refreshing, and it really keeps that aliveness, so to say, that new spark of energy flowing, of just allowing things that are outside of your own self to really be observed and listened to. And it's really also for me very expanding to know that there's all of these different unique authentic walks of life and that we all have our own beautiful way of articulating and expressing our life. And it's truly beautiful. It's one of the main reasons why I love what I do.
It is. And I think, I'm grateful for this space because in this particular essence of being, even though I think, if I may, we were looking at diversity as somewhat of, wasn't necessarily a good thing because, we were in a box. They tried to put us in a box and different things of that nature. But in the essence of unconditional love, there's even beauty about the diverse aspect of being. It is almost like the canvas that the divine has created on this planet, where you got the many different trees, you got the many different plant life, you got the many different animal life, you got the many different stars and different. It's just so vast, but it's so uniquely different. And so, yesterday I was saying, it's kind of crazy that we were expressing limitation when everything around us was so abundantly clear. It was so much abundance in our everyday walk and, just looking around and just seeing so much of everything, which, that's another modality of the truth being in plain sight. And so it's just so abundantly clear that, we are so abundant even within our diverse aspect of being. And the beauty about the diversity is that oak tree, is that pine tree, is that lion or that tiger or that zebra that brings something unique and special to the equation, to the experience. So, you ask yourself, are you going to judge that tree? Or are you going to judge, the zebra because he's a zebra? Or are you going to judge because in the whole of, the divine unconditional love, in this aspect of being, in this, frequency that we're operating from, it is the divine love, unconditional love of the diversity, and how we can come together with our diverse self and realize for a moment with our diversity, the wholeness that we are interconnected to be as well, and I'm grateful that you are allowing this space freely so that we can begin to see the diverse of how one understand their now moment without being judgmental, because you have diversified people that swear upon the moon, and then you got some people that say, well, the moon is a spaceship. But when you come together and understand that your sacredness of the moon and maybe somebody else viewpoint of the moon being a spaceship, collectively in a unified essence, is still all a part of the divine story. It's still interconnected into the experience. It still has purpose, because your purpose of seeing the moon in your way is entered for your path and your experience and your evolution. And someone seeing that beautiful moon, the purpose of them seeing the moon in that way is for their purpose. So it still has divine purpose. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to be fluid in this space. And for me, what got me there is unconditional love. Unconditional love. That is for me, that's the key. Just realizing that all thing that is all things divine.
As you can see, we are still in the process of conducting a peaceful protest.
Yes.
Wow, juicy words.
I'm grateful.
So, my question to you is, so say like during times of turmoil, times of confusion or pain, or whatever it is that you may be conflicting with, what do you typically go to, or what is your typical technique or thing that you like to do, either mentally, physically, emotionally, when you feel like you could really use a tool of some sort?
Well, the greatest tool for me, believe it or not, is being one with self. Having conversations with, myself, and finding balance and solitude within. where you could be able to rationalize what you're giving power to and why. Before I got to this space, because definitely that was definitely I had to evolve into that space. It was always about moving from, an external, like, matching energy. But as I have gotten into this space, and my peace is more important to me than anything, it really calls me to really not give my energy into experiences that I do not prefer. And what I've noticed with myself as of lately, it's just, I won't say anything. I'm not going to match the energy. I don't match the energy anymore. And then I have a conversation with myself, more importantly, because this is my experience. So, with the maturity, what has brought me into this space is that I say to myself, how do I want to experience this person? How do I want to experience this essence of being that is within my space? And even though they may be choosing a different vibration to express from, they're still a part of, I'm still in agreement, to experience them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really having a question and answer conversation with yourself, to which a lot of people probably don't like talking to themselves. But I love talking to myself. One might look at it from a perspective on your higher self.
There's a lot of people also that are demonizing talking to ourselves too, which creates a lot of fear for people.
Right. And that's how we grew up. As I said, for me, growing up a preacher's kid and different things of that nature, we were constantly inundated with fear. You know what I'm saying? That was just a part of the structure and the modality at that time. So we were just taught to fear everything. But one of the first experiences in me vibrating out of the illusion was that was the first thing that I let go, was fear. I said, I just like cold turkey. I said, no more fear, like that. And that eventually became a truth, a more vibrational truth for me. And ever since I've done that, it has allowed me to become more rational in how I want to experience. And once I became aware, fully aware of me being the divine creator of the experience by how I begin to understand my now moment, that really changed the game. Because now it's about getting your power back. So, once I got my power back and I realized that I am creating the reality that I am experiencing. So once I began to make decisions on how I want to experience that reality, then thus it shall be. That was a game changer. So, it lightens up the load. Not only illuminate your light, LIGHT, but it makes you feel light as well. The light as a feather, because now you are taking control over how you experience and how you express, even through agreements of others or of reflections of you that you are allowing to be a part of your experience. Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah.
So basically, I guess in other terms, counseling your own self, so to say.
Yes, because with me, the only person that knows me is me. That knows me really well, right? So yes, one might call it counsel with self, but it's also counsel within the higher versions of you as well. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, that frequency connection can matriculate within this experience to give you that leverage to be in that space. One of the things that I'm grateful to say is that our perception of what is good and what is bad is just that, is how we interpret the reality that we are experiencing. And I'm grateful for this space that allowed me to experience self outside of self, half of the experience, and then the other half of the experience now it's me finding great solitude, peace, resolve, understanding, wholeness within self on this next half. So I actually got best of both worlds in this divine experience that, that I incarnated in. So, that's the beauty about it, because it's not to say that that experience that I had, outside of self was a bad experience, because it had purpose. And one of the main purposes is that experience led me to this experience because it was me finding out what I did no longer prefer, that, in the experience, that chosen experience, to now what I do prefer, to choose a different experience. So the growth in that, the ability to be on both sides of the coin, per se, it's just a phenomenal thing, especially when you begin to understand it in wholeness, in oneness, in the essence of the unified state of being. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah. That's one thing that's really big for me, especially in my daily perception of life, is to really dissolve what I like to call the destination mindset, as well as separation of everything. Just really dissolving that and allowing myself to see things as a continuous motion. So like, instead of seeing, day is a separate thing from night, and then night is a separate thing into the next day, dissolving that and just seeing it as a blend of continuous motion, continuous energy that is constantly in motion, changing and shifting, as everything in existence is subject to change. And when we step more into that, at least for my own self, I'm able to start dissolving a lot of my own suffering. I'm able to start dissolving a lot of my own pain. I'm able to start dissolving a lot of the scarcity and that stressed out, anxious, and depressed feelings that I get surrounding time, limitations. Oh, I didn't do this at this time. Now I can't do it. Or if I don't have it done by this time, then I will probably not be able to do this ever again. No, actually, what's going on is, say you don't do it in this moment, you have other moments that you'll be able to do the certain thing that you wanted to do. As long as you allow yourself to be that open-minded with yourself, to be able to see that just because you don't do something or get something done at a specific expectation, and I mean, expectations is something we can talk about too. It doesn't mean that there's just like a brick wall and that the thing can never happen again. Like, we're in a continuous motion of possibilities. And as long as you allow yourself to embrace, to align and surrender to that, then you will be in that embodiment, you will be in that perspective, and it'll open you up to a whole entire different dimension of your own reality, where you're not feeling as confined to those limitations that we have bound our own self to. And then we can fluidly flow a lot easier with our emotions, be more mentally free, and feel less tense and less stressed physically. So for me, it's been huge to really dissolve the separations and the whole, this is this and this is that, this has to be this or that. Just really seeing it all as what is, connected, fluid, continuous, and knowing that even when I'm going through something, there's always a continuation that's still happening. And we can either get in alignment with that continuation, or we can stay in resistance of that continuation. And then if we stay in that resistance, I'm sure we can piece together what happens to us and what manifests in this human life. But wow, it's an interesting journey being the time travel surfer.
Yes. I mean, listening to you, I'm listening to you and I'm like, both experiences are really beautiful experiences. The resistance, the reason why I'm looking at both experiences being what it is because now I'm moving from a space of us being perfect. We are eternal, perfect beings that are having this infinite amount of experiences that allows us to migrate back into our essence of perfection, or migrate into the essence of experiences that is alternate to our perfection, right? The resistance, the alternate version of self, with God outside of self, or, seeking outside of self. And so, I look at when you say now, before, yes, I would have been like, oh yeah, who wants to go through all of that resistance? But because now I understand us as being perfect beings, perfect beings, it allows me to have much appreciation for both sides of the coin, and realizing that those who are choosing resistance, that they are perfect. And it's a choice for the evolution of their experiences, of how they want to experience and express, and the gratefulness that I have. Oh no, sorry.
What happened?
Oh my goodness. I charged the battery and it's saying that I don't have any battery anymore. Oh my
really?
gosh. Yes, and I charged it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, let's see what we can do here.
How much battery do you have left?
I'm sorry?
How much battery do you have left?
I don't know. And I'm scared to touch anything because I don't know anything. I don't want to mess up anything. I'm afraid to touch anything.
So what would you like to do?
You said that I can use the phone, right? Because I have a power source.
Yeah,
for
you
the
can
phone.
you can use the phone. You just will not be able to have it streaming through your live. It'll only be going through my live.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I mean, we can continue, and then people can direct over to my live on your side if they want.
Okay.
Because it's probably going to die here in a moment.
Yeah, it may just do that. I'm really surprised, but okay. I'm surprised. Oh.
Okay.
But yeah.
If you want to, we can just take a moment and kind of reorganize and get that set, and then continue from there if you want.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So everybody that's on Divine Words of Wisdom's live in the comments. If you guys aren't following me, my profile is Sacred Light 33. I'm actually in the comments on Divine Words live. If you guys just either follow me or go tap in live on my live, it'll be streaming there. Or you guys can even go over to YouTube. And on YouTube, it's Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. I'll go ahead and put it in the chat for you guys. And it's actually okay because Instagram cuts off at an hour, and we would have had to have started a new one.
Okay.
So yeah, there's the YouTube, or you guys can just tap in on my Instagram, and we're gonna go ahead and get her situated on her phone.
Yes.
So yeah, if you want to, you can go ahead and pull up StreamYard on your phone.
On my phone?
Or actually just go to the link I sent you in the messages and just pull it up with your phone.
Okay.
Thank you guys for your patience as we get some technicals going. And we will continue on. And yes, like I was saying, for all of you that's on Divine Words side, you can either tap in at Sacred Light 33 here on Instagram to continue watching. or you can go to YouTube, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And on the YouTube side, you can actually also comment and have your comments brought onto the main screen for everybody to see. And as we're waiting for her, I actually have the Kabbalion here, the Hermetic philosophy. And here in a moment, I'm going to read a short section out of the Kabbalion for us, for a little bit of conscious reflection. So I am getting a new Instagram made up, due to it being only an hour long, and it'll be up in just a second. I don't know why Instagram's got to be so limited like this. It'd be nice if it wasn't, but it is what it is, and I'm grateful that we have the technologies to even do this. Alright, so now my Instagram part 2 is now up and loaded, so you guys can join in on my Instagram. It looks like hers is still going, so if you guys want to stay on her side, go ahead and stay. I think it's still going. But welcome in everybody on the YouTube side. So as we wait for our Divine Sister, I wanted to show you guys and read to you a passage out of the Kabbalion Hermetic philosophy. So the Kabbalion is the universal principles, universal laws, teachings of Thoth, Tahuti, and it's all of the different principles of energy and how energy works in creation. So it's like, the law of rhythm, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, the law of polarity, the law of correspondence. These are all different laws and functions of the universe that get talked about. So the page that I was going to read. Oh, Roberta, so you know the Hermetics, but you have not read the Kabbalion. Oh man, you would love the Kabbalion. Kabbalion is a go-to. Like, you would definitely, absolutely love the Kabbalion. Especially if you're someone that does like to embark upon, the path of self-mastery and being able to be a master alchemist of your reality. There we are. We are back with our Divine Sister.
There we go.
Welcome back.
Wow, thank you. That was a little rough, but thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
It all works out.
It did. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And believe it or not, you're actually still streaming on your Instagram.
Is it? Oh, wow. Okay, so you guys got to see all of that. Because I really was trying.
Yep.
It was giving me such a hard time. But I'm glad. I'm glad we were able to get it remedied. Okay. So
Yep, we're here.
We are here.
So I was going to read a short passage out of the Kabbalion here, the Hermetic philosophy, and just kind of give us a little reflection if we would like to reflect after the passage. Are you open to that?
I'm very much so. Yes, indeed. I agree.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read then. So it begins with in ordinary human consciousness, that which experiences is entangled with that which is experienced. We believe we are what we experience. We believe we are the thoughts and emotions that pass through the mind. We become what we behold. It can be difficult to detach the two, but I believe that this is precisely the goal of many forms of meditation. The self, as pure witness, watches all phenomena, mental and physical, inner and outer, pleasant and unpleasant, as images passing across the screen of the mind. In this sense, we can say that all is mental. Notice also that the interaction between self and phenomena can itself vary. Self can identify with the contents of its experience, or it can detach itself from them. It seems likely to me that neither of these stances is absolute, and indeed they can alternate or appear to alternate rapidly in many cases. Self-identities with its contents, then it detaches itself from them. Let us go further and posit that this process takes place at all levels of manifestation, from that of the subatomic particle to the atom to our own level and beyond. It is, in my view, entirely legitimate to speak of the consciousness of the atom. If we posit some kind of progress whereby this goes on constantly and, shall we say, habitually, we now see the source of the vibration, quote unquote, that the Kabbalion describes, and which, as it points out, is the standard feature of the universe. Because this process takes place at all levels and scales of reality, we also see the source of the correspondence among all levels that the Kabbalion asserts. In fact, these considerations help explain all the basic principles of the Kabbalion. In addition to the ones I have just mentioned, we have polarity. This is the polarity between self and the quote-unquote world, between that which experiences and that which is experienced. Gender, self and other, that which experiences and that which is experienced, correspond to the masculine and feminine receptivity. Rhythm, the perpetual alternation between identification and attachment between self and other, again at all levels, generates the rhythm of the universe. Cause and effect. What we observe as cause and effect is simply the operation and outcome of these processes. In any event, even these few brief points can help us see the depth and fertility of the ideas in the Kabbalion. They also help us see that these ideas are not merely an arbitrary string of axioms, but expressions of certain basic principles that, once understood, illuminate them all. Wow.
Yep, that pretty much, to sum it up is that, and as I've always said, the all, the experiencing itself. And it's just a matter of what side of the experience you're going to be on. Are you going to be on the side that you want the experience, or are you going to be on the side of knowing that you are the experience, right? It just depends on, how you want to operate. And the thing also, what I heard in that, there is no limitation to how that commences itself, right? In terms of it wanting to be attached or detached to whatever experience it so divinely chooses, which still comes into the essence of the infinite possibilities of how it can all express itself. And that's the beauty about, this experience. It was something that I had said yesterday, about like how we take history. You know what I'm saying? We take history and we incorporate the history of things that we didn't incarnate in, and we make that energy, even though we're not experiencing it from a physical perspective, but the energy that carried the experience, we bring that in repetitive into our now moment. And that goes to show you the power of how we're able to even not be incarnated into an experience where that is still a valuable experience, because all things are still happening all at the same time. But the essence of the beauty about the divine intelligence of how you can not even be incarnated into an experience for it to be a viable, tangible experience, but still experience the energy of the experience, even in an incarnation that is not necessarily relative to exactly to the experience. It is so powerful. Like it's the power of the divine that is the know that knows, and then there's the divine that knows but still yet want to experience. And it's the divine that knows and still yet want to experience that allows it to be interexchangeable, even in a different timeline, but yet and still experience the energy of a different timeline within a different timeline. It's like it is like genius beyond genius, in terms of that. And that's how I kind of like break it down. It's I try to be like the simplified version of how I understand it. But it is such a beautiful thing, and it just shows you the degree, as much as we can comprehend at this level of consciousness, of how versatile and how fluid it is. The energy is just so fluid that it can bring the energy of the history into a timeline, and without the experience being tangible, and create other experiences from that energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing to be able to understand without prejudice, because it's so divine. It's just genius. It's genius. It's beyond genius.
Yeah, and I agree. It's been a very, very therapeutic session today, I gotta say.
Well, I'm grateful. I'm
Very,
grateful. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. Very grateful.
and one of the lines in here that really stood out is in ordinary human consciousness, that which experiences is entangled with that which is experienced. We believe we are what we experience. We believe we are the thoughts and emotions that pass through the mind. We become what we behold. That is so powerful in itself, because, well, actually, let's take a pause for a moment. If you guys may, everybody that's present in this space, let's take a pause and let's reflect for a moment. And let's reflect on, have we been identifying ourselves, who we are, our reality, based off of our experiences in the past? Are there anything that's in the background lingering from our past that we may be holding on to as identity of ourself, who we are, what we're capable of, what we're becoming? And just try to observe that neutrally within your own self, inside your mind. And try to be honest with yourself. And as you be honest with yourself, remember to give yourself grace. Give yourself gentleness and love, if you are. And when you think about it, and if anything does arise, just allow yourself to sit with it for a moment and observe to the best of your ability. And kind of allow yourself with an open mind to see what type of messages, what type of information is behind that experience or behind that energy that you may be entangled with right now. And as you do so, maybe even bring your focus to the breath, because maybe it's getting a little intense or maybe it's triggering. And what we can always do is we can use our breath anytime something arises to be able to move through, to bring clearing to that energy or to that experience with our breath. Key is to try not to resist it, try not to fight it, try not to create a versus battle with your thoughts or with the experiences that you may be entangled with, but to allow a graceful, fluid avenue for it to be able to stream and naturally release out of you. The more that we can allow what's moving through us to be able to move through us freely, then the more efficient and the more easier and simple it will be for that energy to be able to be released out of our system. So in this pause, just take a moment to think about that and just really consider, is there anything in my experiences in the past that I may be identifying with? Are there past relationships where maybe things got rocky or things didn't end well and I've been second guessing myself, or I've been thinking of myself in a negative nature due to the way that that relationship ended or due to the way that things happened? You know, these are very real things that we go through as human beings that we may not admit to, or may not even fully acknowledge and just kind of, put under the rug. But these very subtle things can continue to add up to create density within our field, which can also create imbalances and then can keep us entangled in these experiences, keeping us from being truly grounded and present in our center. So as you do so, just kind of think about that, move with the breath if needed, and then here shortly in a moment, as we close out, I will then guide us through a little bit of a sacral chakra clearing, some simple breath movement and focusing at the sacral, along with a little bit of Reiki if you guys want to receive Reiki. And you can also use a crystal as well. And I went through the crystals for the sacral earlier. We had like tiger's eye, pyrite, citrine, orange calcite, and some others. And I'll guide you guys through it once we get to that moment. But I want to hand it back over to our sister over there.
I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to incorporate those aspects of selves for those who are ready to experience that clearing, that is in agreement with the experience of the clearing. And, one thing that I would like to add to that, to help, with that process, is to see yourself divinely perfect. Just see yourself as a perfect being. A lot of times what happens is that, we've been taught to see ourselves less than perfect or flawed or different things of that nature. But when you really begin to embrace the essence of the truth of you, which you are a perfect essence, then that can also help assist with the releasing of, the energy entanglements, because now you're more resonating with the divine truth of you, um, at a level of knowing, um, versus at a level of experiencing. And so therefore you can begin to release the experiences, those energy experiences, because of the frequency of the higher frequency of the knowing, right? And that's just, this is the unorthodox, I call it the unorthodox aspect. But this is what is allowing me to bring some aspects of resolve to my quantum entanglements, right? My entanglements and traumas and different things of that nature, or what we perceive as traumas, to which I don't even perceive them as traumas anymore, because I understand them now as chosen experiences. And so to alchemize that, I say, what did I learn from this experience? What did this experience bring me? To create, an alchemy of, transferring and transferring the energy. Um, so there's so many different ways that we could go about it, and different things of that nature. But one of the greatest things that I notice in all of this is that no matter what you do in any process, one of the greatest things that can help is determining how you see yourself. How do you see yourself? How do you understand you? And what characteristics are you labeling yourself to be, that is creating, that could be definitely creating a dense essence, a buildup of density? And what can you do to release that? What will free you from that? Because ultimately, it is you. I always put the responsibility back on the being. So it is you. And that's all.
Beautifully said.
I'm grateful.
Wow. So, if you're open to it, and everybody else is, we can go ahead and move into the Sacral Chakra clearing. And for anybody that would like to participate, feel free to go ahead and get yourself comfortable. You can sit or lay down for the practice, and you can grab a crystal if you would like, if you're someone that uses crystals. And if you're someone that doesn't want to receive, you do not have to receive as well. So you can consciously acknowledge that you don't wish to receive, or you may also step out of the live space as well. Just want to give those clear options to you, so there's no need to feel like you're forced to be part of an energy practice or anything of that nature. But as you get prepared, feel free to grab some water and hydrate yourself, use the restroom, anything else that you want to do to get comfortable and kind of reset, as I'm actually going to grab some water as well. And then we can return back in maybe a minute or two and get our practice flowing.
All right. Indeed.
And feel free to keep on sharing your wisdom and keep on speaking to the collective if you want to. I'll be back.
Yes, I think this is a beautiful thing, you guys. Something that, I talk on, my platform a lot about, is about the interconnectedness of the diversity. And so it's so many different variations of ways of how we can heal ourselves, how we can understand ourselves. It's not, set in stone any particular way. But it's how you, the divine essence, choose to experience these modalities, and what benefit or of service it is going to give you in essence of the experience. And one of the things that I like about what he said, it's not forced upon, you know what I'm saying? Because not everything is for everybody. You know, you have divine essences that want to experience different things in many different ways. And that's the face that I want to, and many others want to begin to put out there, that there is no cookie cutter way to how you want to express an experience. And that includes a plethora of so many different modalities that are out there, just as well as those modalities that are out there that, you know, allowed us to experience the separation of self. There is also as much modalities that are there for us to bring us back unto ourselves. And you can pick, choose, and refuse how you decide to do that. So, you know, what is for you is for you. Whatever resonates, resonates. And so therefore you don't have to have any feelings behind it and saying, oh, this is not, you know, it's whatever float your boat. It's about being fluid. It's about the flow. You know, what allows you to have the greatest flow, or what I like to say, the path of least resistance, right? And know that, you know, it doesn't have to look like somebody else, right? And that's the most important thing about us, you know, the individual side of us, in terms of how we are choosing to experience, coming in as a collective, with that understanding, you know. And that's what makes that is what makes the harmonics of the frequency rays, when we can come in harmony and with those understandings. He's back.
Oh yeah. Oh, you say understanding as well, huh?
I do. I do indeed. Yes.
I love, you know, terminology is a big thing for me. And, you know, the more aware myself I became, you know, I started remembering and realizing, like, man, the words that I am putting out, you know, they're literally spells that I'm casting on myself and others. So, like, yeah.
I mean, and you know, it's all for the experience of it all. And when you are really ready to, you know, how can I say, vibrate out of it, it will naturally happen. You know, it will naturally happen. I have to say that, you know, for me, you know, it's not a forced thing, but when you become aware, that's when the change really commences itself. When you become aware of what is for you, you know, and that's the thing that I really, because for some people, you know, the words is not spell casting for them. If we give it that essence of vibration for us to experience it in that way, we have the power to experience it in that way, right? But it's all about what you tell yourself. What are, like, it goes back to what you were saying, you know, what are you allowing to be an external stimulation, and what are you allowing to be an internal stimulation? Because ultimately it is what you tell yourself. That is what's going to, so those words can have an effect on you if you want to experience those words having an effect on you, right? If you give it permission, or if you go in agreement for those words to have an effect on you, it can definitely have an effect on you, because you're telling the essence of self that you want to experience these words having an effect, right? Because that's how powerful you are. And once again, this is how I understand my now moment. So, you know, I am the battery, I am the source, I am the eternal source that gives it the permission for it to be a relative reality in my experience, right? And so in the essence of the power that is vested in me, do I want to give those words the power to curse me? And if I don't want to give the words the power to curse me, then it won't curse me, right? That's how, that's because I'm not choosing to experience it in that way. But of course, there are modalities and beings that are energetically invested into saying that these words curse you, and it's a fact, a scientific fact, that it houses and holds a vibration. And I get that, but you can't violate free will. And if you say that this experience of words do not have any effect on me, then thus it shall be, because you are the all-knowing, having an experience to experience that modality, right? And then you go back unto yourself. The perfect being that you are is what created the experience to begin with of divine essence of creation. So it's you.
Mm-hmm.
It's ultimately you. I'm going to always fall back that it's ultimately you. You are the power.
That's right. Alrighty, so now if we are all comfortable, I have a golden tiger's eye here that I'm going to use for my sacral center. And then I actually wanted to share with you guys real quick just the type of properties that the tiger's eye energy field brings to our energy field. It helps with confidence, self-belief, personal power. It is associated with the solar plexus. It can also be used with the sacral as well. It helps with inner strength and overcoming challenges. And it also represents the energy and the power of the sun, symbolizing vitality and strength. Good old tiger's eye. Alrighty.
All right.
So go ahead and get comfortable, whether you're sitting or laying down, and allow yourself to start getting into a meditative state, beginning to focus inward, letting go of the show, letting go of the outside world, letting go of all distractions for the present moment. And checking in with the body, making sure that we are relaxing our shoulders, releasing any tension. Checking in with the hands, making sure we're not balling our fists. Checking in with our feet, making sure that our toes are not curled and are flat on the ground. And then lastly, checking in with the jaw, making sure we're not clenching our teeth. The reason why we go through our posture first is so that our vessel and container is soft, receptive, and fluid. The more that we hold tension, the more that we hold stress, it can cause distortions, it can cause resistance in the fluidity of releasing energies as well as receiving light. And then bringing focus to the breath. You can either breathe in through the nose or in through the mouth. And as you breathe in, breathe that breath in and then direct it down below the belly button to the sacral area. Then circulate that breath and exhale out of the mouth. So patiently at our own pace, breathing in through the nose or mouth, drawing it all the way down to the sacral below the belly button. And then exhaling out of the mouth. You can visualize this as your energy body and the breath being a clearing system that with the breath, whatever it flows through and touches brings clearing. So as it circulates down the body to the sacral, it's clearing all that it touches, as well as clearing the sacral. Then it circulates back up and releases out of the mouth. Continuing to focus on the breath. If there are any expectations, you may let them go with the breath. If there are any obligations outside this present moment, whether it's after this live, what happened before, yesterday, you may let that go with the breath as well. Staying with the breath as we feel ourselves become lighter, feel our surroundings, as well as the singing bowl be one as energy and vibration with our being, with zero separation, all fluid, interconnected. Reattuning and recalibrating the dimensions of our sacral. Then I'm going to give an affirmation that you may repeat out loud and inside of your own mind, at your own free will, if you wish. The affirmation is, I am honoring my life force energy. I see the value in my sexual energy as being sacred, as the power behind my creative abilities. I am allowing myself to clear, to let go of any blockages or hardship I may be carrying surrounding my sexuality or emotions. I give myself permission to feel my emotions and to listen to my emotions. I am not too much. I am just enough. I am safe to be in my feminine nature, to be receptive. I am safe to express joy and inner child innocence. May I remember that I can enjoy childhood things. I may enjoy what I've always loved, passionate about, no matter what age I become in this vessel. Staying with the breath, continuing to clear the sacral. I am a creative genius. I am a co-creator of all that is. I am full of expression and beauty. Staying with the breath. And the last affirmation, I allow my emotions to be sensed through my five senses. I also guide my emotions with my higher intelligence. Yashikiyata Upotashi Asiyatatu Shianati Yatiya Sutukuata Ishimita Usu Shikiniya Sutuata Yana Shukutu I Atata Uyana Shiyatata Umanaya Shiyata. As we breathe, our breath beginning to focus downwards to the earth, grounding ourselves with every breath, guiding it all the way down to the earth, through the body, before exhaling. Taking a few breaths all the way down to the earth, ground in this energy field. As we breathe, How are you all feeling? So in the middle of that, my microphone died. So you guys probably didn't hear half the things I said, but you still got the frequency, the singing bowl, and the intention of my energy that was coming out. Oh, you're on mute.
I'm on mute.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Indeed.
How are you feeling?
I feel amazing. I feel calm. Very calm. Yeah. Very nice.
How's everybody in the comments feeling?
My beautiful friend says he feels movement. Movement.
That's the key. Get that sacral moving.
And my other beautiful friend says, feel a lot of energy. Indeed. And also an essence of clearing too as well. Yes. Indeed.
Movement in my body. Yeah, so the sacral, if we go back to the teaching on the sacral is that first center for our human being that starts to feel that serpent energy, starts to feel that sensuality, that creativity. So that's why, that's stored in our hips, in our hip area, is due to that location of the sacral. So whenever you get that sacral flowing, or you're trying to get that flowing, you can do hip practices, you can do dancing, you can do things that help move that kundalini energy and get that raised up so it can start flowing up your spine and circulating through your being. Feeling good despite sound issues. Love the sound bowls, Roberta. Yeah, I'm really grateful that the sound bowls were there while the microphone went off, because it still allowed you guys to be able to have, some type of experience with the energy despite the microphone turning off.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not sure if you guys were able to catch any of it. Did you guys catch any of the affirmations that I shared?
Yes, I was able to hear it. I'm not sure about, but I was able to hear it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it probably died a little bit in the middle of the affirmations or afterwards. Cool. Ooh, wow. So yeah, that's just a very basic and simple practice that any of you guys can do at any time. Just play a little bit of frequency, do a little bit of meditative focus on the breath, and just direct it to your chakra, whichever chakra you want to clear out. And you can use affirmations, you can use mantras, you can even use mudras as well. Mudras are the hand postures, because certain points of our fingers connect to different areas, and then those different hand signs connect you to that tone and that energy frequency. So there's so many things out there for you that you can utilize if you're someone that uses tools, or you can always just go within. Those sound bowls are from YouTube. Yes, they are from YouTube. I'll actually just put the link in the comments here. He's my go-to for sound healing on YouTube. It's called Chakra Vibrations or Sound Vibrations. He has 2 different channels, and he does a lot of different intentional sound healing and sound bowls. Really cool. You have like different backgrounds and themes. Like you have like transcendental ones, jungle ones, beach ones. It's like really cool. Good to play in the background of your day if you just want some beautiful frequencies flowing while you're doing things. Before bed, start your day. Well, Divine Sister, do you have any closing words for the collective?
I'm just grateful for my now moment. I'm grateful for this present moment, being present, and a beautiful experience this is. And just grateful to be in this space and the sharing of this space with my beautiful friends that decided to stick with us here on my IG. I'm so grateful for you guys too, and thank you guys for coming and supporting and offer continued support of this beautiful divine soul that has the same mindset of being one with everything, one with all, the inclusivity of the collective mind. So that's the aligning aspect of us, him and myself, that we are in the essence of the wholeness, of the oneness of the collective mind. So, just offer continue support in that essence. And I'm divinely grateful to be in this space. And thank you so much for having me here. I'm so very grateful. Thank you.
It was an honor, and I'm really grateful to have you as well. And I appreciate all of your wisdom and all of your knowledge that you shared, as it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful to see you embody it, to be it, and to stay true to it. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for bringing that to this platform and to this space, as this is what it's for.
Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Yeah. So, if you ever want to have some future episodes, whether it's on Rising with Ra or in different spaces, just let me know, and you're always welcome.
I'm grateful. Thank you. And the offer that is reciprocated unto you. It may not be through StreamYard.
Oh yeah,
but
nothing unexpected.
Yes, so it is offered to you as well, as an essence of a unified essence of expression. So indeed, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm always open to hopping on other people's as well, so I can, share my light and share the gifts that I have with different community that, is not used to me yet. So I'll definitely take up that offer whenever.
Grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
And for everybody out there, where can they connect with you at?
Let's see. Well, I have several platforms. I have Changing of the Mindset, and then I have Divine Words of Wisdom Official. Then I also have Divine Words of Wisdom 2. So those are my IG platforms, and my YouTube, of course, is also Divine Words of Wisdom as well. So I'm kind of easy to find in that regard. And so, but I'm pretty much, me personally, is with the IG Divine Words of Wisdom Official. That's where I'm at majority of the time.
Sounds good. And I will definitely be sure to link those down below in the description, which I think I may have actually already done, but I'll double check and make sure. So all of you guys out there can connect with our divine sister here to receive any guidance or just have conscious conversation, expand. And yeah, look forward to what is to come. And thank you to all of you that continue to support, subscribe, and follow me when it comes to my content, and participate as well. Participation is everything, It really is what brings life and brings fuel to these spaces. You all bring yourself in these spaces. I will be back on Sunday at 6:33 p.m. Eastern for the next episode of Ascending Beyond Limitations, the Raw Material, with Sandy Marshall out of California, as we will be on episode 21, or actually no, episode 20 of our series on the Raw Material Law of One. And then on Monday, 11:11 a.m. Eastern will be the next episode of Rising with Ra. And I'll be going over the solar plexus chakra, our collective reading, and I'll have our sacred guest, Sarah Broadhead, joining again from last Monday, as we're going to talk a little bit about empowering ourselves with our health and how to navigate through the medical system while sustaining our own self-empowerment. So if you're someone that is interested in that and you're curious on, how to really be able to navigate in your sovereignty surrounding things such as the medical system and other mainstream systems, we'll be touching on that Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys then.
All right, grateful. Thank you.
Divine Words, have a beautiful and blessed day.
You
And
too.
thank you for sharing this space with me.
And thank you for having me. I'm grateful. Thank you. Have an amazing day.
All right, everybody. Wholeness and balanced love.